Hey everyone, welcome to 5 Star Guns and Gear, and today I'm going to show you a little project that I've been working on for a couple weeks. I went ahead and built a brass annealer. Now this is from Richard Bean's plans that I got directly from him. He does sell a kit. I highly recommend buying his kit. It's a lot easier. If you don't have a 3D printer, you're going to have to buy his kit anyway. I will leave a link to his contact information, how to get a hold of him for a kit if you're interested. I did deviate from his plan some. He does have a wood enclosure. He shows you exactly step by step how to build. However, I went ahead and chose to put it in a metal enclosure. I'll leave a link also how you can get that. Now just know there is some little tweaks and modifications I had to do to get this metal enclosure to work properly. So if you do decide to do this, his plans, you can use them pretty much the same. Just realize your enclosure is going to be somewhat more compact. I had actually put feet on mine to raise it up where I had plenty of space for something to go under here to catch the brass. Another modification, I believe it's 1 3/8 is what you cut down your pan to. I did 1 inch because I'm going to be doing a lot of 300 blackout on this. But also I'm going to do up to 300 PRC. And what I'll do after talking to Mr. Bean, I'll wind up just changing out these pans right here. I'll put a larger pan when I do those larger cases. However, you'll see today I've got some 30-06 brass I'm going to run through here. And even on this 1 inch pan right here, it's plenty to hold this. I'm going to show you how it operates. Now, when you look up here at the LCD screen, it is going to flicker, and that's just because my refresh rate on my camera is not the same as this. In person, when you look at this, it is crystal clear image. It is not going to flicker. So that is a digital filming issue with LCDs, and I'm not sure what camera setting I need to have this on to get rid of that flicker, but it does not flicker when you're looking at it. However, in the video, you're going to see it flicker. There's nothing wrong with this. Went ahead and put my speed control knob over here and my power on and off, and I've got my power cord going right here. I do have the torch right here. This is one that I already had, so I'm going to use this, and I believe it's going to work out fine. I did go ahead and get a Burns-O-Matic extension hose. It's about 20 bucks at Home Depot, and I did a little modifications on this myself because I did 3D print this myself. I did not get his 3D printed parts, so a couple of these parts are a little bit wider. I was just testing and prototyping some stuff, and it still works just fine. But I think when I get the 300 PRC that it may come in handy that I have a little bit more shelf here. It may not matter. So for just about every case you do, I don't think you're gonna have to modify his plans at all. I would go with his kit and build it from there, and I think you're gonna be fine, even with probably 300 PRC. So I'm gonna show y'all how this works. This is set for different case sizes. Have one that fits really good for 223 and 300 blackout. This middle size right here, as you see, we'll see here, will accommodate up to the 30-06 just fine. And this larger one will do your belted magnums and stuff, and the 300 PRC does fit in that. And you just spin this around what size you want, and it's held in place by magnets. So pretty easy. And let's go ahead and get this set up for 30-06. I'll go ahead and start this torch, get it going, and I'll just show you. I'll run a batch through. I've already timed this. Something you're going to need to do when you set this up is you're going to need to have this rolling, and I wound up rolling it at a slow rate, and when I saw this just barely start to get orange, because I don't have any Tempolac, I had a stopwatch, and that was about 4 seconds. So took that off and turned the torch off, and after that, basically what I did, let me just set this where it won't catch a piece of brass. I found about 90 speed. I turned it up to that, and that was about 4 seconds. So all I did was set it in there and just stopwatched it to about 4 seconds, and that's going to get me where I need to go. So that's how I did my timing on it. Really easy to set up. was not hard to adjust the timing on it, and I still have room if I need to speed that up and use a little less time, I can do that. Or if I need to slow it down a bit, I can do that. Now that's all going to be based on your torch, how close your torch is to your brass. Different torches will have different heat, whether you use MAP gas or regular propane. I'm using regular propane. All that'll have a factor of how fast or how slow this drum's going to need to turn. So let's go ahead and throw some brass in here. I've got a piece of 308 here somewhere. I want to make sure I don't throw that in here. Although it will cycle through, it just won't be in the flame. You'd have to adjust this in and out, and that's what this is for here. Great design. Mr. Bean did an excellent job on it, and I went ahead and adapted it to how I wanted it, and everything pretty much is standard of how he had it. So let me go ahead and get the torch set up and going, the flame going, and we will get a batch started. And we're gonna go ahead and unset this. Really simple. You'll see this is 30-06 and this is only a 1-inch ledge, and it falls right in place. Now I need to adjust my flame just a little. That's all there is to it. I use a larger catch pan if I needed to. I just grabbed this out of my wife's kitchen. As you can see, this is going pretty darn fast. And you can turn your lights off and actually see the brass start changing color. The best thing to do is probably use some Tipilac. That way you can get Tipilac at 750 degrees and use that to reference your heat if you really want to be precise with it. That's probably the recommended method. I just don't have any on hand right now, and I wanted just to go ahead and test this out. I think we're about where we need to be. As you can see, it's clicking along here pretty good. And every one of these just fall right in place. Absolutely have zero issues. If you follow his guide, it's really simple to do. And I played around with enough. I think I can give you a good honest review of this afterwards. We'll go through the review and I'll tell you my final thoughts on it. And I'll let you know how you can get the kit from Mr. Bean. That way you can build your own. Almost done here. As you can see, it's not taking much time at all. And that's all there is to it. And I'm going to go ahead and I will mark in a little book I've got that at speed 90 is about where I need for 4 seconds for these cases. And as you can see, all those are really nicely annealed there. You can see the toning on them and everything. I know that's not a definite way to tell. Your best way, honestly, get you some Tipilac, and that will pretty much get you where you need to be. It's a lot more precise than just eyeballing it like I'm doing. And like I say, when I first did this, when I first ran a test piece through, I went ahead and turned the lights off, and right when it started getting orange, I hit the stopwatch again. That was right about 4 seconds. Then I set my timing on my drum, just setting a few through without the torch. Once the timing was down, it was time to run some batches. So everything worked out good. So you're gonna have to do this for, like, I'll write down in my chart for 30-06 for this brass. That's about what worked out good for me. I think that's probably gonna be standard for this. We get a 300 blackout, 223, 300 blackout. It may change it a little bit. So you always want to keep you some test brass. That way you can test it out and make sure you're not over annealing. It's still pretty warm, guys. Make sure you're not dropping it directly on your table. I can hold it. So, I mean, right now it's cooled off enough. but it's warm. So there's your piece right there, nicely annealed. And if you're a DIYer like I am, I like to build a lot of stuff myself. This is a great project. If you have a 3D printer, you might get with Mr. Bean and see if he would provide you the files. That's what I did. But I highly recommend just buying this kit. It's so much easier. It takes a long time to print this stuff. I printed mine at 0.15 resolution, and I probably have 48 hours or better in printing from all this, and in the internals where all the gears and motors are inside. So I've got quite a bit of time in it. I did 100%. I didn't do like a 40% or 60 or 80% infill. I did a whole full 100% solid parts because I wanted everything solid. So it did take a while to print all this, but this is really solid. And you're going to need to use PETG at least on this when you print your stuff. So if you're not used to printing in PETG, you might want to get you a roll of PETG. Make sure you got all your settings and everything. I've got a Prusa Mark III printer, so it prints really high detail resolution for a filament printer. So all these turned out really good. There is a couple different color variations in here, and it's just because I ran out of some filament, and I just switched to another one. This pan, just cut it down, just marked everything. If you follow his directions, everything is super simple to do. Basically, all the holes that's drilled in this metal enclosure is the same exact hole sizes and location that would be in the wood enclosure that he provides as instructions. All I did was adapt it to this. So all the drill hole alignments and everything is pretty much the same, except I opted to go ahead and put my adjustment knob for my drum and the power button and the power cord on the sides here. And that's pretty much it, you know. Overall, I'm very impressed. I think it's going to do a fantastic job. As you can see, it's really quick to anneal your brass, and this is really going to be nice to have on the reloading bench here. So it's simple, it's small. You can actually just take this torch off of here, kind of roll it up, and put it out of the way. This propane bottle with the extension right here, it has a little hook. Mr. Bean shows this as well. It just hooks on like a drawer, or I've got a little space on my workbench I've got it hanging on. Kind of keeps it out of the way. And something else I like about it, guys, you can hook a bottle directly to this, but with the weight of it, I didn't want during processing to shift it or anything. And you can tighten all these up once you get it set in place. And once I had this set in place a while ago, I was going to tighten everything up, but I'm about to change this over to 300 blackout, so it's not absolutely torqued down. You can torque this down and tighten it up a lot better. That way it's not going to move. As you can see, during the whole process, it did not move. Now me dragging this hose extension around, I'm shifting it around, but I could tighten all this up. That way that didn't happen. But I'm about to switch all this over and set this up for 300 blackout. And that's mainly what I'm going to be doing with it, probably for this next month. Occasionally I'll start doing my 300 PRC as I get brass for that, and do that as well. 30-06, all that, anything I reload rifle wise, I will be annealing. It just extends the life of your brass. It's just a lot better. So very, very, very impressed. Again, check that out. Again, this is Richard Bean's design. This is not my design. I have no affiliation with Mr. Bean. I did tell him I would be putting a link in my description and sending people his way, because I think he makes a fantastic product. The only thing that I actually had to form myself besides making 3D parts was this 1/4-inch rod I got from Home Depot. It's just their regular mild steel rod, solid rod. I threaded it 1/4 by 20. It's a 1/4-inch rod, and I bent it to his directions. I did not like the angle it was falling, and I think I misdrilled here just a tiny bit. So what I did is I just bent this and shifted it just slightly, ever so slightly, to a little more drastic of an angle, and I was able to line up everything. Everything falls out just fine. That was not a issue with his plans. That was an issue with me, and me bending this as I was going along. So and what I did, I just took the torch, this propane torch, matter of fact, just heated this up, put it in my vise, and just bent it. And I just kind of compared it to his one-to-one CAD drawings that he has for this that you'll get with your kit. And I'm not sure if he pre-bends these with his kits or not. You're gonna have to get with him. I'm not sure what all he includes, but he can certainly let you know what it does include. This is very minimal. I think this was a few bucks for I think it's a, I want to say 4 foot, but I think it's a 3 foot piece of rod, and you're gonna use about less than a third of it to make this little piece up right there. Very, very, very simple. Really easy to do. I guess you get threaded rod if you want, but I don't know. There's just something about threads rubbing on your brass as it rolls that I didn't like, so I chose not to go with the threaded rod. You might could also go with aluminum. I'm not sure. Haven't tested that out, but I don't know why you couldn't. I just don't know how that torch, especially if you use MAP gas, how that would affect it. So guys, let's get on to the review, and let me get rid of this out of the way, and we'll just review this real quick, and I'm going to give you my overall impressions. I think you already know I like how everything turned out. Really easy project, was not hard to build. If you have the kit, you can build it easily, probably half a day, less than that, probably a couple hours if you got the kit, especially if it's handy with your woodwork and major enclosure. Now if you have a metal one like this, even better, so it doesn't take long to drill this. You got questions on this enclosure, like I say, I'll leave a link below on the enclosure that I used, and as you can see, his kit fits perfectly in here without issues. Now, like I said, I did go ahead and relocate some of the knobs and stuff, and the power button a little different than what he has laid out, just to make everything fit in this properly. So, and you do not have to put the feet on the bottom like I did. That was just to raise it up. Otherwise, this would sit under here just like that and flat on the table, and that's fine and everything. But I wanted to be able to use a bigger container if I wanted to, so I went ahead and put feet on the bottom. Just know when you do that, this could get a little, not really back heavy too much, but forward heavy when you got everything on here with the torch head and everything. So it may want to lean forward on you. So I put a little bit of weight that's epoxied inside this enclosure on the bottom back side, and it just helps keep it sturdy. And I've got the feet adjusted where it tilts slightly back. You don't have to do that. Like I say, it's probably best just to go with his plans. Just build a wood box if you can. If you don't have the ability to build a wood box, this is an option for you that you can certainly do. I did it. I do have the ability to build the box. However, I just chose not to. I wanted to put it in the metal enclosure, and I want to try that. Okay, guys, give me just a second, and we'll do a little bit of review on this, and I'll let you know what I think. All right. Well, I got to see the Annealer in use, this design made by Richard Bean here. Really good design. Really like it, guys. Like I said, I did a couple modifications with the feet. You don't have to do this. And you can adjust the height on this if you want. Of course, it's going to be more stable the closer you get up to it. You don't have to put the feet on it. It'll work just fine. And I use the metal enclosure. I did use his CAD drawings to go ahead and lay out everything, and drilled out all the holes according to his pattern that he has on everything. Worked out absolutely perfect. So I'm impressed. I like it. There's lots of Annealers out there ranging from, you know, a few $100 to, you know, well over $1,000, just depending on what you want. And for the most part, essentially they get you the same place, you know. And if you can save a few bucks doing a DIY, and Mr. Bean, he's got a great product. He's got a kit that's very reasonable. I'm not going to quote the price on this kit just in case anything changes. So you're going to have to go to the link in the description below. You'll get to go there, check out his kit price and everything. Highly recommend sticking to his schematics and everything. If you want to do some of the modifications like I did the metal enclosure, I'll leave a link to that. That's fine. I do like that I did go with the metal enclosure. However, for ease of use for a lot of people, ease of the build and everything, it may be easier for you to build a wood enclosure. It's just up to you. However, to me, it was easier for me to do the metal enclosure. So it may save you a little frustration. Although just keep in mind you may have to relocate like your adjustment knob for your speed adjustment and stuff like that, your power button. Easy enough to do, simple. Just drill your holes in a different location. It's going to be a little bit different from his schematic. So as far as price, using this kit, you probably can build this for half the price of what you can buy one for. So you know, you just got to figure what is your time worth. Although you have to also look at the design aspect in it. I think he's got a stellar design. There's a lot of other designs out there. They all kind of do the same thing, but they're a little bit different the way they work. I like that he has one motor, so you don't have to have two that's synced. Works out really good. Brilliant. I don't think you can go wrong with it. So price, I'm gonna give 5 stars, because at the writing of this, when you can gather everything and save you a few bucks on any kind of reloading stuff, and I'm talking about half price of a cheap one. Now, if you're talking about some of these annealers that are $800, $900, $1,000, you're gonna save a ton of money, absolutely a ton of money. So price is spectacular when you start looking at those compared to this. So, and it's going to get you to the same place, do the exact same thing, do a great job. It's going to nail your brass. So, so price 5 stars. Availability, hey, 5 stars. I'm going to give him 5 stars on that. Mr. Bean has it easy. You can go to his store, pick up a kit, you're good to go. Buy you a couple parts that you're going to need along the way, build your enclosure, or buy you a metal enclosure, build it out, and you're good to go. Like I say, I did some modifications to mine that is not the kit, so you're going to have to look at the kit. Go look at his videos also. I'm going to leave links to his videos down below as well. That way you can see on version 3 exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to look basically the same as this, with the exception of, hey, I got a metal enclosure. I did make a few modifications to the 3D parts to accommodate me, but none of those were necessary. Absolutely not necessary to do what I did. As you can see, the drum is a 1-inch drum. I believe he has 1 3/8 inch is what the cut down size is, but if you're going to do 300 blackout, he recommends getting another drum and doing 1 inch. But as you saw here, that 1-inch drum will hold and turn a 30-06 round. So if you're doing 30-06 or below, hey, you're good to go. I don't have any empty 300 PRC. I've got plenty of loaded 300 PRC, but I don't know how a loaded round would work in this weight wise with the head of the bullet and everything, so I don't think it would be fair to go ahead and put it in here. So once I get some fired brass, I'll go ahead and throw one in here, and if it runs on the 1-inch drum, I'm not going to change anything. But if I need to, I'll bump it up and do like the 1 3/8. I could even go larger than that if I wanted to, the way I've got this built out. I've got this stood off enough. I probably could go easily to 1.5 inches there. Still have plenty of clearance for this raker bar here. So I don't see a problem with that. This is going to hold 300 PRC just fine, because I know I've put loaded rounds in here and made sure they catch in here, so I know the drum will accommodate them, and I know this funnel will also accommodate those rounds without an issue. So you can do very large caliber. I mean, with some modification, I guess you could use the same design and do about as large caliber as you want. But then you're gonna have to modify some stuff. I'm talking about like 50 BMG, stuff like that. Different animal though, but it could be done, definitely. So availability, I'm giving him 5-star because if you're watching this, you can go online, you can get it. So 5 stars there. Durability, reliability. Over time, if it changes, guys, I'll let you know. But I don't see any problems with this. The parts that he recommends getting, everything you can get off Amazon. The motors, I mean, even if you was using it on a daily basis, I think it's going to last you a long time. I don't think you're going to have any durability, reliability issues. And durability, especially like the wood enclosure and everything, you're not going to have any problems with that. It's not directly touching any really hot heat or anything, so that's going to be fine. And then if you go with the metal enclosure, you're absolutely not going to have any problem there either. I don't see any problems there. So 5-star durability, reliability, unless something changes, I'm giving it 5-star. Mr. Bean's done a really good job. Like I say, I have no skin in the game, and I'm not getting any kickback from him. Matter of fact, I paid for the plans and everything to build this from him. And then I ordered everything myself. So everything's, my money in this. This is my honest opinion on it. So I think he's putting out a good quality product. Ease of use. I mean, y'all saw how I set it up. It's really easy to use. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. There's nothing you have to program in. The only thing you have to do is set your timing on your drum speed. And that's going to be based on about how much time it's going to take to heat your brass up. So get you a piece of test brass, 1 or 2 pieces. Get your stopwatch, time it with it spinning, see how long it takes to heat up, and then set your drum speed according to that. And you're pretty much set at that point. So ease of use, 5 stars. I mean, it's pretty easy to use. I'm not going to give it a star rating on how hard it is to build it, because to me, I'll give him a 5-star on that. But if you're not a good DIYer and you're not used to working with your hands, working with tools, you may have a little bit of difficulty putting this together. I would say this build is for, to me, it'd be an entry level to medium build. It's not that hard to build. And I guess I say that because I've dealt with electronics and stuff, and I've done programming and stuff like that. So when it comes to stuff like this is super, 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 super simple, but your mileage may vary. If you're not really good with your hands and stuff, it may be a little difficult. So I'm not going to do a star rating on that, because that's to each individual. To you, it may be a 1 because you can't drill a hole in a piece of wood or metal. You may not can put a little solder on a wire and solder something together. And if you can't, this is not your this isn't for you. You might want to contact Mr. Bean and see if he can just build one out for you and send to you. That might be the best route to go. And no, I do not sell these. I do not build these. I am not going to build these for anybody. This is his design. This is only for my personal use. So I want to get that out of the way right now. So if you have a problem where you don't know how to build, or you can't build for some reason, get with Mr. Bean, and I'm not sure what he could do for you. He might could build one out for you. I don't know this. I haven't talked to him about that, and I don't know what it costs. But maybe that's something he could accommodate you and help you out with. That, or you're just going to have to look at a different direction of one that is pre-built. Quality. I tell you what, he's on version 3. This is version 3. And I've seen all 3 iterations on video and everything. And he's gradually improved things as he's gone along. And I think at this point, I mean, I'm not saying he's got everything absolutely perfect, but it's pretty darn close, guys. there's not a whole lot I would change on it, if anything. I think it works just fine. If you had a printed part that failed on you, depending on if you had the plans and was able to 3D print something yourself, you could replace that part or contact Mr. Bean, and I'm sure since he sells the kits and everything, he could print you that part and sell it to you and send it to you to replace any of these parts if they got damaged. But I don't foresee, unless you're rough on your tools and stuff, them getting damaged. I don't think you're gonna have a problem. So quality, 5 stars. I think he did a phenomenal job on this. This isn't his first iteration. This is version 3. So I think he's pretty much worked out most of the bugs out of it. And I think he's got it dialed in. I really do. I think this can be handy to have on your reloading bench, guys. If you have never nailed brass before and you're a reloader and did a lot of rifle shooting, I highly recommend you nail your brass. It's going to make your brass last a lot longer. There's a lot of benefits to annealing your brass. Go research it. Maybe we'll do a little episode on the benefits of annealing or something on here. But every one of these pieces annealed just perfect. I mean, you can see the heat. I've got it about down there, and it's even and consistent on piece after piece after piece. So, I've seen some contraptions where you flip them into a flame and you hold it and you flip them over, and I've seen the annealing where, in some of those where, it's kind of like this much annealed here, and then on this one it may be this wide, it's going real far down. So it seems like there's not a lot of control in that, where in this design there is a lot of control. So very impressed with Mr. Bean's design. Appreciate him working with me and selling me the files and everything I need to do for this build. I wanted to kind of do everything myself on this. So just know, when you buy his kit, I'm not sure, I believe he does everything, I believe, in black filament. I did mine in white. I believe he told me he uses PETG filament, which is more durable than PLA and more heat resistant as well. So I went ahead and did that, but I had white on hand, so that's what I did it in. All my gears inside are white. So if you get a different color variation, it's because you're getting it directly from him. So you're going to get a good quality product though. So I have no doubt. Very, very responsive to emails. He wrote me back and forth, and he didn't make much money off of selling me those plans, I'll tell you that. The time that man has involved in his CAD drawings alone are absolutely amazing. I wish I had the ability, the talent that man has to put down his instructions, his CAD drawings and everything, his design plans. Very, 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 very professional. To the point, they're 1-to-1 scale. You can actually, like this little raker bar, I'm sure Mr. Bean will correct me, I'm wrong, I forget what he calls this. Anyway, if you'll follow it, you can bend it and lay it down on the piece of paper, and that paper is exactly 1-to-1 what it needs to be. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. I mean, if you can't put it together with his instructions, again, a DIY project like this may not be for you. You may need to contact him to see if he can build you one totally out, or if he doesn't do that, I honestly don't know. If he doesn't do complete builds, maybe you need to look at a different solution. And what I mean by that is pre-built. So you do have to have a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of handiness about you, but it's not difficult. I think it's a very, very, to me, an entry-level project. It's going to take a little time. Be patient, don't rush it, put it together. Everything will go together just fine. He's got everything just absolutely dialed in on this. So, and the ease of use is just spectacular on it. So I'm very happy to have it on the reloading bench. Going to get a lot of use. Guys, I'll let you know if I do any further modifications or anything on mine. I don't think it needs any further modifications. I think it's just fine. I would recommend whatever torch head you get, make sure that it's long enough that you have enough reach. This one is plenty fine, and I like this because it's got electronic ignition on it. This is something I already had, so I said, you know what, I'm going to use it. And I also recommend this Burns-O-Matic. This one is a Burns-O-Matic brand. I got it at Home Depot. You may can get them on Amazon even cheaper. I don't know, but I got mine at Home Depot. I believe it was $20 or $21, pretty cheap for this extension hose, and it will keep that extra weight off of this machine. And you can remote locate your bottle kind of away from your work area. That's kind of nice. And it's got two cutoff valves. It's got one at the bottle, and it's got a cutoff right. Of course, well, this one's, well, your torch head will have a cutoff on it also. And like I said, I like it because I got electronic ignition on this. Some of your torch heads, a lot of them don't have that, but some of them do. But this way, I don't have to worry about a light or anything unless that electronic ignition goes out. And hopefully I won't have to worry about that. So if that happens, hopefully one of the stores will be open. I'll just go buy me another one with electronic ignition, make it easy on myself. We'll need a power adapter. This does take a 12-volt power adapter, and it gives you all the information on ordering this. Very, very cheap off Amazon, and pretty much everything, he gives links to everything you're going to need if it's not in this kit. So, I mean, the design, the layout, everything is just, it's just spectacular. And guys, if, like I said, if you notice this LCD screen, or if you didn't hear me at first, in the video it'll probably be flickering. It does not flicker when you look at it. It's solid. It shows you the numbers. What that is the frame rate refreshment from my camera filming this, and that's very common with LCDs. Even if you use to film a computer screen, it looks solid and you don't see anything, but if you film it, you can see lines going through it. It's the same effect on this. So there's nothing wrong with these screens. It's very high quality. I just don't want you saying, oh, that's, you know, that digital controller, I don't know, if I may want to look for another one because I don't like it flickering. It's not going to flicker on you guys. I just want to kind of get that out and just let you know right ahead of time. You're not going to have an issue with it flickering. That's just camera and frame rates. Filming that's the only reason why I did that. So guys, like I say, overall, I'm giving Richard Bean's Annealer version 3 a 5-star. I enjoyed this project. We're going to be doing some more projects. I got a run out tool where you can see the run out on your rounds. Something that I designed. I'll show y'all that. So we'll be doing some build projects and stuff. I like to piddle around. I do not have the time and talent to do all these gears and hoppers and drums and get everything timed like Mr. Bean has in this, but I do have a few projects that I'll be showcasing that I built that'll help the reloader and stuff, hopefully, and maybe y'all be interested in that as well. Guys, if you are subscribed, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, I appreciate it if you consider subscribing. Hit that bell notification. That way you know when we're putting out new content. Guys, you know, we need all the help we can get in this 2A community to keep everything on YouTube. And if you like our videos and everything, please let us know. Give us some comments. That helps the algorithm, that helps put us out there, and that lets YouTube know you like this kind of content. If you're not doing that, that just gives them a reason to boot more and more gun related content off of YouTube. So highly encourage y'all to like, share the video, subscribe, do whatever you can to help out not only this channel, all the 2A channels. Especially if you get something out of it. It really is helpful to us as content creators, and it keeps us going. Y'all helping us, and we can help you in return. So guys, I appreciate it today. God bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful week, and I will catch y'all on the next episode.